Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Emma Frost. And when I asked you guys if you wanted me to review the rest of the figures in this bunch, most of you said yes, so I'm doing it for you. But if you only wanted positive things, I don't even know if this counts as an action figure. I mean, it is technically articulated, but it doesn't do anything that an action figure would typically do. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going on here, but there are some pretty good things about this figure, so let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, let me show you my package. It is the same package, not a real retro card, but made to look like a retro card to, I guess, make Hasbro more money. There's some artwork there, which the figure doesn't drastically depart from. We have seen that before, with this guy and... who was the other one? It's not that guy. That guy, well, he was kind of close. Oh, Cyclops, he was from before. Okay, so anyway, yeah, she looks pretty close to that, sort of. Kinda. Alright, it's close enough for Hasbro, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, that's enough with the packaging. Let's look at the figure. It is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store, by the way. If you want to get one, go ahead. I wouldn't, but you could. Alright, she stands, it's been a long day. About 6.5 inches to the top of her head, not counting a little bit of height for the hair, and it's going to be about 16.5 centimeters. Here she is up against Darwin. She has some height on him, but she also has heels, so I think that's fair enough. The video is dark because she is white PVC and skin tone PVC, and I had to do it, so hopefully it's not too dark for you guys. Question of the day: how often are you willing to buy an action figure that doesn't pose almost at all just to fill a spot? I don't think it's a bad idea, frankly. I'm going to make fun of Hasbro for making this not a very good action figure, but I have in the past anyway purchased things to fill out a team or something like that, even though the figure itself probably wasn't that good. And that's probably what's going on here. I'm guessing anybody who bought this just wants Emma Frost and doesn't care that it can't pose. But this is a review, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to review it, and you can't pose it really, so. Alright, let's get into the aesthetic. A couple of good things first. The black lines, painted pretty well. This one's really nice. This one's kicking off to the side a little bit, but it's a clean enough black line. The ones on the feet don't line up very well, but they tried. The painting on her, what is that, a corset? Is that what you call that? It's alright. It's pretty good, I guess. The silver is maybe a bit much, but the blue is on there. Her little gem right there, let me just remind you guys. It's supposed to look something like that, right? That looks... They couldn't sculpt it the right shape? What the heck? That's funny. It looks terrible. It looks really, really bad. The purple shading on the fur is cell style shading, cell shading, and that's okay, I guess, other than there's no shading anywhere else on the figure except on the face with the super subtle shading that they do. And then on the hair, it is the most subtle shading I've ever seen on an action figure. From Hasbro at least, and it looks really nice in person. It might be so subtle it doesn't even get picked up on camera because of the colors. It's a thing, but whatever. It's actually really nicely done. But the subtle shading around the head and then this cell style shading, I can't say that apparently. It's a weird juxtaposition, but the face looks nice. She looks maybe a little bit young. Can we brighten it up a little bit? There we go. But the application of paint is wonderful. It looks like they gave her freckles on her nose. Does she have freckles in the show? I'm guessing not, given the style of the show and the artwork on the box. But she does not have, or she does have freckles here, but the eyes and mouth are painted really well. So it looks good. Yeah, there's good to be found here, but it is not overall a particularly good figure. But aesthetically, it looks nice. They're using the newer legs that have some musculature sculpted into them, which is nice. They're still pretty slender. Like, she's not supposed to be thick or anything, but even the artwork on the box shows her legs being thicker, and they should be at the thigh. But generally, it looks good enough. Maybe lackluster, but good enough for sure. I will give it an 8 out of 10 just because the face is done so well. It has decent aesthetics. Now, as far as the accessories go, you get the 2 fist hands, you get the 2 whooshy hands. That's fine. You do get an alternate head. And the alternate head also looks really nice. It's good. The hair has the same subtle shading and the face looks nice. My hair's got a bunch of schmutz on the back, but it still looks nice. So, alternate hands and an alternate head. I think that's good enough. I would like more, but as far as Hasbro goes, this is a pretty good spread. I will go 8 out of 10 because that's 2 really nice head sculpts. I think that's good. The wind-blown hair, though, doesn't go well with the cape that's not, though. So I'm going to take a point back and go 7 out of 10 for the accessories. Now it's time for the articulation. I'm going to try my best. All right, so her hair, as you can see, just touches her cape all the way around. So you can rotate her head. I mean, that's really it, practically speaking. Technically, can you do more with it? Yeah, a little bit, but not much. If you're leaving the cape on, we will take the cape off in a minute. But what else am I going to do with the figure? Like, raise her arms. Okay, so I can put her arms out a little bit, but the cape doesn't even have, like, a cutout for the arm, so it doesn't look great. But yeah, you can raise her arms a little bit. You can make her, like, kick and stuff. But other than just moving her legs a little bit, what are you going to do? Nothing. So she really is not an action figure, practically speaking, with the cape on. You'll be able to adjust her the tiniest bit and leave her on your shelf, and that'll be that. If you take the cape off, you're obviously going to have a little bit more to do. Is the neck too long? Probably. Looks like it is to me. They made room for the cape. So there's that. She is incredibly slender. Incredibly slender. It's not as noticeable with the cape on, but if you look at her rib cage, it is a tiny, tiny rib cage. And she is not caked up. So for those of you who are getting this for pervy reasons, sad to say, you're probably not going to enjoy it too much. Though the corset look probably is a win for most people. Shoulders function like shoulders. That's pretty much standard. Ugh. Blech. Don't like that. I didn't think companies were still doing these very often, but wow, that is an ugly, ugly, ugly joint. Don't like that at all. Double jointed elbow will elbow. That's fine. When you're moving the shoulders, you will see separation at the bicep. It doesn't look like it's going to rip out like some of the figures have been doing, but you do see that, so be aware. Wrists have a swivel and an awkward angle hinge, but you don't really need a hinge on a fist hand anyway. For the torso articulation, you get nothing here. You get something at the waist, but I'm not even sure it's supposed to articulate, frankly. It doesn't. Maybe mine's just really stuck, but it doesn't even look like it's supposed to. It looks like it's just a means of connecting the figure. Oh, I think, okay, it probably is technically supposed to, but you have to force the plastic, and all you get is a swivel, really. It's not really meant for posing. For the hips, you can do the splits almost, so that's okay. You can bring the legs forward pretty well. That's one of the better kicks they've ever achieved. That's pretty good. Going back, you don't get much. The hips do get super weird. I mentioned how they have some musculature going on, and that's nice, but the way they shaped this is totally unnecessary if you do it properly. You don't have to have that big angular chunk at the top there, and then the big gaps. So it gets a little bit weird if she's not in a pretty neutral stance. So there is that. You do get her thigh swivel. Of course, these legs are just colored white. They're not actually sculpted like boots, so the leg and the boot is flush. So it doesn't have that extra look that you might be hoping for it to have to bring it to life. The knees work like knees. That's pretty much standard. I'd be surprised if they screwed that up. The ankles do go back and forward if you want to use them. You get an ankle rocker that's just about worthless. It's really hard to get her to stand and balance with the cape on. Without the cape, you can do it because she's just a slender figure that doesn't weigh much. But with these big heels, which is just her design, so that's fine. It's tricky. You have to be aware of that. Does she have lumbar lordosis? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. The way she's built is kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know, because she doesn't have like a butter and whatever. It doesn't matter. The pervs are going to perv, and the ones that aren't going to like the way it looks, I'm guessing. All right, so yeah, her articulation blows. If you take the cape off, it's better. It's still not particularly good, but since she's supposed to have the cape on, generally, I will say 3 out of 10 with the cape. No, 2 out of 10. Nope. 1 out of 10 with the cape. There's just really nothing you can do. And then with the cape off, it's like a 6, I guess. It's fine. All right, and now it's time for the final verdict. Is this a good action figure? No, not even a little bit. It's not a good action figure, but it looks good enough to go on your action figure shelf with the other ones made by the same company. And that's what most people are going to do with this figure. It looks probably better than most of the figures Hasbro puts out, strictly aesthetically. So I can definitely see the value people will find in this figure, for sure. And if you're getting it just for looks, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I have to keep it lower than a 9 because it still can't pose. But if you're getting it for posability, it's like a 3. Don't bother getting that at all. It's really just to be a spot filler that looks pretty good. And that's what they did, so I guess if that's what they were aiming for, that's fine, but Yeah, we've been over it. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but I'm done. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.